What's up, what's up? You're not tuning in to Start a General TV, aka Mr. Vacuum himself, and we're in the building, you know what I'm saying? Yes, sir, yes, sir. Anyways, we got a group of white people getting jumped by a group of black people in Cincinnati at a festival. And yes, it's rather unfortunate news, but however, I feel like O'Shea had a more balanced perspective to what really actually happened. I'm seeing a lot of people just seeing, they're just taking a bunch of clips of the video and then just talking about it without the full proper context. Without further ado, let's see what actually really happened and what led up to it, and not just a couple second clip. You know what I mean? Without further ado, let's get straight into it.
Cincinnati just jumped a white man, stomping him, kicking him, obviously punching him.
And then you got black people acting a damn fool in downtown Cincinnati. Yeah, I said it.
Damn. Since 1962, the city of Cincinnati has hosted the Cincinnati Music Festival. It typically goes down for 3 days, typically Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in every varying weekend. And again, it started off in 1962, but originally as the Ohio Valley Jazz Festival. But of course, the demographics of Cincinnati has changed tremendously during that time period, with more of an African-American dominating base, so it changed from jazz to celebrating R&B, soul, funk, and hip-hop. And don't get me wrong, Cincinnati has had its problems like any other city in the Midwest, but this time, something interesting happened. On July 25th, there was a situation that unfortunately went viral.
A group of black people in Cincinnati just jumped a white man, stomping him, kicking him, obviously punching him. I mean, he got up and couldn't even keep his balance, wobbled and fell back down. His face was bleeding. This was specifically a group of black people jumping a white person. On top of that, there was...
Now, you see, when you hear it from that perspective, it's kind of like, okay, this was like a targeted, like, hate crime. They targeted them because of their skin color, something like that. But before we run into any conclusion here, let's just watch it in full context. You know what I mean? Let's watch it in full context.
There's a white woman who was there. She seemed to be trying to stop what was going on, to try to hold people back or whatever, and a black man sucker punches her, dead in the face, knocks her out cold.
Before we move on, I'm going to say this. That I don't agree with. I don't agree with any man punching any woman in the face, especially knocking them out cold. I think that's weak and cowardly, but let's see what's going on. Let's see what's going on. Again, Spice, let's see what's going on.
She's on her back, unconscious. Her eyes are open. Obviously, she's not moving, and there's blood running out the side of her mouth. It's likely the legacy media is not going to cover this, especially a lot of the mainstream media on the left.
Now, the young man here is expressing a fight or a jumping of sorts that happened between a group of whites and a group of blacks. What happened with the whites is that they were much older than the blacks they were fighting. And of course, I can't show you the entire footage because of YouTube's community guidelines, but he is correct. The woman was hit in the face and the white people were beat up pretty bad. I saw the entire footage and yes, it was not nice to look at. But the question was, is it exactly like he said it was?
People been sending me the whole video of the execution beat down downtown at the music fest on the streets. A damn shame. White people, I'm going to just tell you right now, man. You better learn how to defend yourself. People got beat down. And I'm going to say it like this to those suckers jumping that old man. I don't care what he said. Y'all some suckers. Y'all some chumps. Beating down that old man like he was nothing. You had females jumping in. Then the white lady got
I agree. You shouldn't beat up on any of the elderly people. You should leave them alone. However, I'm getting other people are saying that realistically that they were antagonizing the other group and they tried to ignore them. You know what I mean? So this is why I try to do this video, because you see clips like this and it's kind of like trying to, like, how can I say, get you angry based on what race you are, like race baiting, you know what I mean? Kind of type of thing, without giving the full proper context. And I think that's wrong.
Straight blasted by a dude, punched her dead in her face. And guess what? No police anywhere.
That was one thing too. Like, there was no police officer anywhere. You would think with a big festival like that, there would be some type of police presence, but
he's right, you know.
Now, here's a brother that's from the city of Cincinnati, and of course, by looking at the footage or part of the footage, you can be outraged too as a citizen. It's like, hey, you know, this is always happening in the city of Cincinnati or any other black city. Like, you blacks can't get it together. Like, what's wrong with you guys? And of course, you're seeing these young black people, black men and women, beating up on elderly white people. And some of the people were getting hit that were trying to break the fight up. One lady got hit very hard by a black man. It really was uncalled for. But again, he's blaming the individuals, the black individuals, for attacking these quote unquote good white people. But there was something that he said that, you know, it really caught my attention.
I'm gonna say it like this to those suckers jumping that old man. I don't care what he said. Y'all some suckers.
Now, he mentioned something that's a good argument. I don't care what the white man said. You should have never put his hands on you. Now, I want to say this. When you're arguing with somebody and there might be liquor involved and you're drunk, somebody could say something to you that doesn't make sense. And I agree with his sentiment. Just because somebody says something to you doesn't give you the right to attack them. But what if I were to tell you that something else happened besides words?
So basically, I think either yesterday or the day before, it was a brawl downtown, and it was my people versus these people. And I just don't like what I was seeing on the videos, and maybe, just maybe, it could be something else.
Now, this young lady is also upset. She's upset at the black people in Cincinnati. And she was saying, well, from what I saw, it looked bad, but maybe there's something else that I'm not getting. Damn. And she's right, because she wasn't getting the whole story. You see, just like anybody else, if by looking at the clip, you could be outraged, and so were some of the whites on Facebook. Valerie.
see, that's what I'm saying. Like, you see it, like, sometimes you see like a 30-second clip that doesn't give you the whole context of what actually really happened. You know what I mean? And then it causes people to, like, automatically jump and act out of character. And I get it, you know, it looks horrible. But when you get the proper context, then you feel like, you know, you feel like a fool for saying and doing all these other things without knowing what really actually happened. Like, look at this one. This one's talking about freaking disgusting. Like, what? Calling people animals without even getting a proper context. It's crazy.
Winka goes, freaking disgusting Neanderthal palm scum animals. I know she wanted to say something else, but she wanted to keep it clean. She also comments back, was that a black man who cold cocked the white female? Darcy says yes. Valerie again, hate crime. All right. I mean, you're just seeing a whole bunch of anonymous participants saying disgusting animals. Elizabeth, she can't believe it. She's saying, what the F? So again, people are upset about this. But then Tariq Nasheed posted this. More context to the Cincinnati melee. Reports are saying that a group of what some people allege to be suspected white supremacists were walking around threatening to fight black guys. The crowd initially ignored them until one of the white men slapped a black man. Now,
that's very important. You know what I mean? That's very important. Because you won't see that in a couple of second clip. You know what I mean? Yeah, like, I get that part of the information, the really important part of the information get brushed upon. just it kind of reveals people, how can I say, hatred that they probably already had in their heart, and now they are able to display it out. But you see it here. I'm not gonna sit here and say I agree that they beat up on older people, but like, yo, you should keep, as a person that's older, that been on the earth longer than these folks, you probably should keep your hands to yourself. And I get it. You might be a supremacist, a racist, whatever you want to be. You don't like people. Good for you. But why do you feel the need to antagonize people, like smack them, and then when you get beat up horribly bad, publicly, you want to, everybody want to change the narrative. That's one thing I don't like. And it's not like trying to like race bait or cause like one part of like cause a division, because we already got a lot of division in the country. But it's like, yo, this is just crazy. How do you feel like you're gonna hit somebody and not get beat up, get your ass whooped? Like, I mean, like, I'm sorry, like you're gonna get it, like. And I'm not condoning them hitting the lady too, cause that's horrible. You shouldn't be doing that. That was wicked. But also too, like, nah, I can't even say that. But I get it. You probably a woman. You don't want to see your guy fighting or whatever. But he chose his path, and since you're a woman, honey, you might want to move back so you don't get knocked out. Which I'm not condoling at all, cause they shouldn't have done that. Let's get straight back into it.
Initially, if you can see in just this 2-second clip here, you can see there's a white guy and there's a young black dude that he's somehow trying to get into a fight with. And he's already outnumbered, but the white guy keeps coming forth, right? It appears that after a certain while, they're willing to let him go. They're willing to forget about it. They're actually trying to show him some grace until the white guy hits him in the mouth, right? Now, once he hits him in the mouth, 45 seconds later, yeah, at that point, it's nothing but absolute ass whooping. Now, I just want to say this. First of all, when you're fighting somebody and you take it to the point where you're going to put your hands on him, it would really be nice if while they're whooping your ass or beating your ass, that at a certain point, they would stop. It's nice. Like, I didn't have my ass whooped before.
In a perfect world, yes. Oh shit, they probably would have stopped. You know what I mean? But in the real world, why? You know what I mean? For some people, it was, they already justified their action. This was probably some people's anger management. You know what I mean? They worked out some anger management doing that during that fight. You know what I mean? Stress relief is what I call it. But all seriousness though, like, I mean, it's crazy. It is crazy. There's no way that they're gonna show you any type of mercy. And the person that put his like girl or his friends in that particular danger, like, something is wrong with you. Like, you can't read the room. It looked like they had an army of black people versus their small little group. And I'm not trying to like justify what happened at all, but it's like, yo, why put yourself and other people that you brought in a dangerous situation, especially when the other group that you antagonize is trying to make peace? I just don't get it.
To like, as a kid, I've been jumped before, and at a certain point, like, you want people to just, okay, you got it, right? Now, some of us, after being disrespected, we have enough self-control that if, we've been hit or whatever and we get our lick back, we will leave it alone because the person can't defend themselves anymore or anything like that. However, this is Black America, okay? And so once you decide that you're gonna put your hands on somebody, especially if you've been talking trash and maybe there's some racial tensions going on in that day, you're gonna have to get, it's gonna be cracking. And then you put everybody that's with you in danger mode. We all know this. We all understand this. We know how dangerous men can be. But in this case, they got mocked. Yes, and the white lady unfortunately got hit by a dude. It was uncalled for. I understand exactly what you're saying. But at the point that you start a fight, which the white guy did, you can't stop that. And then they're going around not showing the full clip where he clearly slapped a dude and it was more of him. He was by himself. The other people didn't want to fight and couldn't fight, but he did that, all right? So what happens is you get all these videos from a lot of black Cincinnati and a lot of whites basically calling these guys gangsters and criminals and all of this. Cara Brantley, and shout out to Tariq for this screenshot, she got upset at the people calling these young dudes out. She came in and told the truth. Y'all some raccoon, and that's all I'ma say. Y'all about to piss me the F off. I'm about to log out. Those white men walked up talking about how they were gonna fight black guys for 30 minutes. Everybody ignored them. They decided to target Goonie. I guess he like a wink leak. It was broken. Now, this must be Goonie. Now, Goonie is much smaller than the.
See, nobody likes a bully. See, just how we don't like how they beat up on the older people, nobody likes how they was beating up on this other guy. You know what I mean? And that was just wrong. But like, how I just don't get it, bro. Like, common sense is not so common, I guess. How you gonna go like? Look, they outnumber 1, 2, 3, 4. It look like there's a whole block full of black people. I mean, like, why put yourself in this situation?
That's white, right? Okay. So up those same men y'all crying for then decide to start kicking. Yes, and the white guy indeed was kicking. People's cars again being racial, so another fight breaks out. It gets broken up. Then they decide to run after Goonie again in the street and proceed to jump him, those women included. That's when all hell broke loose. They started it multiple times.
Oh, this changed. See, this changed the game because. So apparently, it would seem that the woman that was with them also was probably chasing and jumping the guy as well, which led to other people beating them up. Because that would make more sense. Because I don't see any man in their right mind would just want to openly just hit a girl out for no reason. So apparently this person is a witness, you know, that was already there. So, and she's saying that there were women that proceeded to follow the gentleman that was trying to break up the fight. He was trying to leave the area, and they proceeded to follow him and then also participate in beating him up. You know what I mean? Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. You know what I mean? Like, that's it. You know what I mean? Like, this is what it is.
Times, and MNFers tried to spare them. S to F up, y'all. Feel bad for everybody, but y'all own. And it's sick as F for real. Brother Warth Mahid says, thank you. She gonna say, Warth, it's pissing me off real bad. A black man get attacked and somehow MNFers still in the wrong. They slave mentality got them in a chokehold bad.
He's right, you know.
Tweet says, I said when I saw a white dude slap dude in the red first, the story was written after that. Exactly. When you decide you're gonna put your hands on somebody, they gonna send your ass to ass open university and much worse. You're lucky you left with your life, all right? Takara goes, Jack East, they let it go after though. Him and his good old pal started kicking people cars, trying to start more ish, shaking my head. Now, again, the white.
So they was kicking cars too, acting a fool, huh? Okay.
We're still trying to put the narrative from what I saw. A white couple was assaulted by a group of black teenagers at the Cincinnati Music Festival on Saturday night. Such incidents reflect ongoing challenges with violence in certain communities, which some attribute to cultural differences. It's unfortunate that these events occur so often in Cincinnati. Yeah.
You know, how can I say this? I like how this person can get on here and talk like this and want to talk about the crimes that goes on certain communities, but it's like they're only talking about it when it like affects them. Like, what happens when it affects that community and you just look the other way? Like, you know what I mean? It's so easy for them to look away, but then when it affects them, it's like whatever. And I'm not the type to push any like division between races or anything like that, because I think this situation was certainly not good on both parties, and it needs to end. Like, it's 2020, it's 2025, and we still like dealing with race, like racism and stuff like that. It's kind of like, crazy, but what can you do, right?
It is unfortunate that violence in certain communities, like in the white communities, like when y'all be out there drunk, like hitting on people for no reason, yes, it attributes to cultural differences when you out there drunk and bothering people. And again, one thing I understand, yes, black people.
That's another thing too. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, when people, like, I just don't like this. You can't get drunk and then start attacking people and not expect to get your ass beat. Like, let's just keep it like 1,000. You know what I mean? Let's just keep it 1,000. If you start something, be willing to finish it. You know what I mean? Have the power to finish it. That's all I'm saying.
Americans, yes, we can start stuff, we can be violent. But what I don't like is the fact like white folks can't do this. Like, are you serious? Some of the most violent mob rioting people in the country is white. What are you talking about? All right, as if they're just perfect citizens and they don't do stuff. White folks got guns, they got everything. They be fighting, they got hands, they got feet. I mean, when they get drunk, it be all kind of stuff moving and everything, and y'all don't say nothing about it. And whenever somebody black do something against somebody white, then obviously it's just the black person's fault. I don't know how many videos that black people have in America of showing just white folks just crashing out, being disrespectful to them, just being racist and all kind of stuff. And I really don't cover stuff like that, but it happens a lot. It's happened to me. And then if a black person responds in a certain way, then all of a sudden that black person is racist. That's one of the reasons why I moved my ass over here to Africa, right? I mean, I just got tired of explaining those things, and I didn't want to make a channel dedicated to calling out like white supremacy, but like sometimes white folks, like with some of y'all stuff that they do and talk about, it's not really making sense, all right? Whenever white people start something and then they get their ass whooped or something happens, then it's a problem. Like, no, yeah, sometimes white people start problems too, and then black people defend themselves, and yes, can it go overboard? Absolutely. It went overboard this time. But if you wouldn't have went overboard, it wouldn't have went overboard. It was clear as day that those young black people were trying to show restraint, all right? And they were, but you kept antagonizing them. So you keep, kicking at the horse, it's gonna kick you back. And you can't decide how hard it's gonna kick you back. And I saw the...
Well, it's simple as that. You know what I mean? Don't go out there and start any drama. Just enjoy your summer. Live life. This is crazy though. This one was crazy. Well, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, especially if you want to hear the full, proper context to things, not just clips where people just rush to conclusion or what's popular. This is the real deal. You know what I mean? Without further ado, we off this. Also, follow me on Kick too. I mean, I'm gonna have that down in the description and up here. Simple.